A comfortable lead, up by 14. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Out in front at the half is Orlando. They have the 6-point lead. Kenny, some perspective, please.
Well, I thought that turning point was when the bench came in. Those guys really hustled, and they gave the team some energy, and then they started to score baskets. That was a bonus.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
Their three-point shooting in the first half was atrocious. Ugh, ugly, awful, nasty. It's not that they're just missing shots. It's like they just keep taking the shots. Hold on, Ernie. Hey, you! Whatever your number is, stop shooting the three. See, Ernie, that's all the coach got to do. Tell them stop shooting the three. Pass, cut, work together, do something.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Four. Live from Brooklyn, New York, you're watching 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long. Quarter of play, still a close game. Milwaukee on top, they lead by 3. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. DeMar DeRozan brought his A game early tonight. He had 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. And let's get your thoughts, big fella, on the Raptors.
I like their commitment to that inside game, boy. Get it inside to the post. Got to be scoring in the post, splashing to the basket. Just shoot the high percentage shot. No jumpers, no threes. They're being a more aggressive team, the more physical team. They're definitely going to win this game, Ernie.
Kenny, what was your takeaway on Milwaukee?
well, obviously, they didn't show up on the glass at all. They were getting outworked, out-hustled, and outplayed. And their competition showed just the opposite. They wanted it more. You can't give up a ton of extra possessions in a game like this and expect to win.
That's it for now, as the second half's just about ready to go.
We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next. Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
There must be something about playing in a hostile environment that drives him. He is really fed off that. For our broadcast, for Brent Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening. Night they've had in terms of their shooting, everything dropping in for them. And we'll be right back after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Portland came out ready to play. They had intensity in their eyes and fire in their bellies as they started things out on a 7-0 run. At the end of one, they were still firmly in control, up by 12. Then in quarter number 2, they actually increased their intensity to pull further out in front, finishing with a double-digit advantage at the half. Shaq, how do you think the Trailblazers were playing?
Well, it was an unselfish, team-oriented half of basketball. The ball never stopped moving. Their offense had a great flow to it. It prevented anyone from getting lazy out there. They're always moving, cutting, knowing where they need to pass the ball, Ernie.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Bulls.
Well, they're giving up too many high percentage looks, Ernie. They're not closing down the lane, and they're not going hard on the perimeter. That will get an L in any book.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
Third quarter on a 15-6 run. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. For our Jordan Player of the Game, Yusuf Nurkic.
And tell you what, he's worked very hard to get himself in good position throughout the course of this game. And that comes across in his shooting percentage. He's hit over half his shots from the field. And that's not because he got hot as much as it's because of the effort he put in to get himself open.
Teams need contributions from everybody. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. We've got more in store for you right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. The first half was all about Karl Anthony Towns. He had 13 points, 2 block shots, and 1 steal. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
What stood out to me more than anything else was how hard they got after it on the offensive glass. They were keeping possessions alive and converting those rebounds into points. Take away those extra points, they're not in this position, Ernie.
And over to Kenny, your takeaway on the Lakers.
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Good at this point, but wanting more. We've got more in store for you right after this. And Chris, you've been working as an analyst now for quite some time. Do you feel that how you view and enjoy the game has changed as you've transitioned from being a player on the floor to the booth?
You know what? I've learned a lot, and I've learned to look at the game a different way, but I look at the game the same way. I think the onus is on the player to execute what the coach and the GM puts out there for you to do, for you not to become a one-dimensional player, for you to improve in the summertime. That's the only time you can improve. And when you don't come back and you don't improve, it's obvious
for
that
Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. So long.